All right, welcome everybody here today. Our last day in Cancun. We're traveling back tomorrow, and oh my gosh, the S&P 500. Well, it cracked 5,000 yesterday. Made several attempts, couldn't do it. There's also some news today from Disney, from ARM, from Berkshire Hathaway, and from Nvidia. And we'll talk about all this as well as PayPal. So, welcome to Coffee with Markus and Mark, live in person. So different. Anyhow, in this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. And we did trade this morning, and we're watching the S&P 500.
Yes, so the S&P 500 trying to hit the 5,000 level came as close as it gets yesterday, 4,999.89, I think it was.
It was literally like, okay, how close can you come to the 5,000 level without touching it? It's almost like the little kid on the stove. Okay, how close can I bring my hand without touching the stove? Or the button. When you say don't touch the button. All right, I'm not.
Yeah.
Or don't hit your brother. I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. This is almost what it felt like yesterday. And today, if you look at a 5-minute chart here, kind of the same. Right now, trading at 4,995. Today, as high as 4,997.49.
Yeah, it's just kind of feeling real comfortable there, just real cozy, like me comfortable in my favorite pair of Uggs, just hanging out, just sitting by the fire.
I can see that. I can see that. Nice one. Okay. So yeah, I mean, and also with kind of no news in the economic calendar. So we did have unemployment claims this morning. Came in slightly lower than expected, but I mean, we had the big jobs report last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. Yeah, but I mean, that's not moving the markets right now.
No, it's not going to be a market mover. Like you said, we're lower from last week, lower than expected, but 218,000 Americans filing for first-time unemployment, and not a big market mover for today.
Yeah. Other than this, earnings season. So let's take a look at the calendar and a few that reported earnings today before the bell. Walt Disney and PayPal. Let's take a look at those first.
Yes, Walt Disney up nicely, and they were up because they had a strong earnings report. They had better than expected earnings per share. They also had better than expected guidance. Investors loving that. They also increased their dividend by 50%.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Disney up and away today, up 11%. So it's kind of interesting because usually we get some hints from Disney how the streaming sector is doing. And
Sure.
often Netflix has a reaction to this. And we see that Netflix today, no reaction at all because Disney was not really talking about how many more subscribers they added or lost. They talked about basically the kitchen sink.
Sure. So investors liking what's going on there, and a big mover.
Yeah, Disney's still far away from the highs that they made in 2021 during the pandemic when movies were shutting down and they had the main blockbuster movies on Disney Plus. That's where we had this influx of subscribers, but fighting their way back right now.
They are not too bad coming off those lows. Looks like there's strong support and potential to maybe move on up.
Yeah. PayPal, on the other hand, PayPal today down 11%.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. PayPal in general, I think a little bit challenging to figure out what comes next and exactly where their strength is and market share. And it sounds like guidance was the biggest issue here, just because the street was expecting $5.48 for the upcoming year, I think it was, and they reported an estimate of 5.10. So guidance a lot lower.
Yeah, so down 10%. What else? I mean, we have to look at ARM. It was never on my radar before, but today everybody is talking about ARM because ARM today up 60%.
And I think it started the day up 30% and caught people's attention.
Right, yeah.
So that's a huge, not only a gap, but almost doubling the gains during the session.
Yeah, and this is yet again